What is the Leicester Magazine, also known as the Newarke Gateway, and why is it still here? And also, what does it look like inside? This is a Grade 1 listed building and scheduled ancient monument in the centre of Leicester, right by Montfort University and the castle. It was built as the grand entrance to a medieval walled religious enclosure that has all but disappeared. It is only occasionally open to the public, and this video covers the inside, some history and key features, and also why it is called the magazine when it is an ancient gateway. I hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe. Brought to you by Eclectic Experience, change seen through images. The magazine is located here, seen here on a modern map next to the castle, and then on a medieval recreation, courtesy of a council notice board. We can see the castle area and the magazine, or Newarke Gatehouse as it would have been then known. It shows the Gatehouse and the now disappeared Church of Annunciation of the Blessed Virgin Mary, and that the compound was completely enclosed by a wall, but interestingly this is not part of the castle. The Gatehouse was built around 1410 and became known as the gateway to the New Work, or Newarke. The name is still in use for the area today, even though the new work associated with it is long gone. Moving to the city side of the gateway, this side would have been the external face, and it had two arches, one for foot traffic and one for wheeled. But when you then go the other side, there's only one large archway. Looking away from this large arch, we can see it looked towards the old Church of Annunciation of the Blessed Virgin Mary, which is very much long gone, but there are some remains under the De Montfort University Hawthorn Building, as we see on this picture here. The church itself disappeared when Henry VIII took charge of the Church of England, and it wasn't long before all remnants of it had gone, but the gatehouse remained. And the magazine, as it became known, survived because uses were found for it. The uses included, it was a prison in Elizabethan times, which there is some great graffiti inside, but even better graffiti from when it was a prison during the Napoleonic Wars, where this excellent carving in the rock was made. There's also this great alcove opposite. This is on the top floor. However, the use that gave it its name was during the English Civil War that ran from 1642 to 1651. It was used as a store for gunpowder and weapons. So, in military terms, during this period, it was a magazine, and the name has stuck ever since. There are 3 floors. The ground has the old porter's lodgings, with the entrance from the archway. It has a great simple bolt locking mechanism with a piece of wood that simply pulls across to the other side, and it still works. Moving on, the other floors are reached by the spiral staircase, and on the first floor, which could also have been part of the porter's lodgings, there is this bell that's been left on the wall. This is actually from when it was a military museum. On this floor also, and on the one above, there's a primitive toilet or garderobe, which, to the poor souls underneath, was discharged straight out of the building. Then we get to the top floor. The 2 rooms cover the whole width of the building, including over the arch below. We can see fireplaces at both ends, and this really interesting stone basin, or piscina, where we can see the square infill at the bottom, which was the drain, which again unfortunately went straight outside. These rooms were all exhibition spaces for the Royal Leicestershire Regiment Museum until 1996, when it relocated to the Newarke Houses Museum just round the corner. Between the 1960s and 2007, the magazine was isolated in the middle of the road, with a subway going under it or round it. In this picture from 1989 that I took, we can just about see the roof of the subway with the triangular pointed roof lights. This is an early 1970s Ordnance Survey map showing the subways around the magazine. Notice that the De Montfort University was then Leicester Polytechnic. But what this doesn't highlight is just how significant the roads were. They went round both sides of the magazine, effectively making it a traffic island. But it still survived, and the subways have now been filled in. When walking under the arch, look up and see this really impressive stone vaulting. And then on the floor, the modern floor, the layout reflects the pattern from the vault above. Saves getting a crooked neck, but it's still a really good idea to have a look up. The building is also covered with reminders of how its use and setting has changed over the years, with scars of buildings that have been attached to it. Also, this I found quite fascinating. Just through the gate, so just as we're getting into the compound, there's a stone with lots of grooves cut in it. And evidently, this was a sword or knife sharpening stone. Just look at these grooves. This must have been used a lot. This was, and still is, a grand building that has adapted and survived. And it really is worth seeing if you get the chance. Look out for Heritage Open Days. The tours are well worth going on, and I learnt a phenomenal amount. I've made a separate video based on another tour of the medieval castle. Just to say, I always thought that the magazine was an entrance to the castle. It might be next to it, but it was not a castle entrance. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be making more similar ones, so please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Eclectic Experience, change seen through images.